Now, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst. Well, this stinks to high heaven, and we don't have to look far to figure out whether at least the person on the receiving end of the proposed deal thought it was a quid pro quo, because it's in the FBI agent's notes.
Right. So an FBI agent who was in charge of handling documents that had been accumulated in the Clinton investigation was approached by Patrick Kennedy. Mrs. Clinton is not the Secretary of State at this point. Patrick Kennedy is working for Secretary Kerry, and he makes the offer that Catherine Herridge just described for us. Can you change the marking on this document? Now,
he was working for us.
Correct.
When he's doing that. He doesn't answer to Hillary Clinton anymore.
Correct.
He's supposed to be looking out for us.
Markings on documents are changed all the time. They're changed so that people at a lower level of security clearance can read documents that they otherwise wouldn't be able to read because they need to see what's in there. But they are never, ever, ever lawfully changed after they've been subpoenaed and when they've been accumulated as evidence in a criminal investigation. And it was under that circumstance that Patrick Kennedy asked this FBI agent, whose name we haven't been given, but who obviously reported it to his bosses, to make those changes, which, of course, he refused to make.
And let's say Patrick Kennedy, who is, again, he is neck deep in Benghazi. I mean, the blame there was plenty to go around when it came to how that hit was handled, the absence of security, despite the begging of Ambassador Chris Stevens and others. But Patrick Kennedy was right in the mix of it and was not blameless. So he pops up again. And it'd be one thing if he saw a document, Judge, that he said, this is legitimately problematic and we shouldn't be producing this, and so it needs to go into a basement and never to be seen again. But if that were true, he wouldn't have to be offering the FBI all these carrots to get them to agree to his little proposal. The
offering of the carrot, as you put it, even though it was not accepted by the FBI, is an attempt to commit bribery. The FBI didn't see it that way. They didn't charge him with anything, either because they felt they couldn't prove the case, or maybe the FBI was in the tank for Mrs. Clinton and all of her people from day one of these investigations.
That's not easy to believe.
It's very, very difficult to believe. I agree with you. But the evidence is there in the FBI document, which came out over the weekend. He offered me something of value, not to me personally, but to the FBI, if we would alter evidence. So that's an effort to bribe, to deface evidence, to obstruct justice. Was anybody charged with any of those crimes? No.
And the advantage to him in having the FBI classify this document from what it was to something else was that it would get buried, that the FBI wouldn't have to have it, it wouldn't have to get produced publicly, no one would ever have to see it.
Correct. And his former boss and still dear friend, Secretary Clinton, could not be blamed for exposing a national security secret, which, of course, she's done hundreds of times.
Judge, good to see you.
Likewise.